expect rainy conditions for your morning commute. You might hear the thunder rumbling right now. Meteorologist Monica Cryan is going to have those details in your weather source forecast.
Happy Friday to you. It's April 4th, 2025. I'm Deja Jones.
And I'm Kelsey Fabian. Some people might be up earlier than they wanted to be because of that thunder we're hearing.
Yeah, I mean, in the newsroom, all you hear is the rain. For a second, I had my headphones in. I'm looking around like, oh my goodness. Okay, that's really coming down.
So let's check in with meteorologist Monica Cryan to see how long this thunderstorm is going to stick around and what's happening with the rain today, Monica.
Yeah, we're actually going to start off and impact our early morning commute with not only rain, but now a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Philadelphia. And you can just see how those skies are lit up by the severe thunderstorm, and because it has a lot of lightning and a heavy downpour. So let's get right to your Doppler 17 radar, and we can zoom in here because it's pushing right now through Philadelphia, Delaware County, and all the way through Bucks and Montgomery County. So I'm following this line, and you can see over 202 down through 476 and into Delaware County, like I was saying, moving towards Philadelphia. And what we're looking at is some of the severest part of this thunderstorm from Bala-Cynwyd moving towards Upper Darby through Media, already 252 impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning expanding through parts of Gloucester and Camden County as well, and it goes all the way through 5:30 in the morning. So that severe thunderstorm warning moving its way eastward has the potential for gusty winds at 60 miles per hour, and there even could be some small hail within that severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to follow this area of severe thunderstorm as it moves its way eastward. Some of those locations next up for this severe thunderstorm warning: Belmar, that could be reaching you at 5:07. We're looking at Runnymede at 5:09, Gloucester 5:12. This is just your estimated time, but I'm talking about that potential as it moves at about 55 miles per hour to the east. And we're looking at a precip rate, at times about more than 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch an hour as it moves through very, very quickly. So now coming up and a look at the full forecast, I'll continue to watch this severe thunderstorm warning as it races on through and what's behind it as we continue with your early morning commute. But let's get it to Jenna. She's got to check out those roadways. It's going to be soaked.
And it's been really impressive, Monica, this traffic camera in particular over the Ben Franklin Bridge. As you mentioned, moving east, of course, heading towards Belmar within the next couple of minutes here. And right now, this camera, little by little, the visibility is dropping. So really, when I first started with this camera, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes ago, I could see Philadelphia, I could see the bridge. But as this is moving, really tough to see anything crossing the Ben Franklin Bridge. So if you are on the roadways, please be careful if you have to leave soon. Let's get ready for some of these conditions. Plan to give yourself plenty of time, or if you can wait this out, which of course is preferred, that's going to be my best advice. Just wait this one out here. As you can see, this lightning really across the Ben Franklin Bridge, and then the roadways, as Monica mentioned, they're just going to be soaked heading out the door. Let's talk about some problems out there, because of course that's going to be apparent as we're dealing with these thunderstorms. 295 southbound, crash out there after Rancocas Woods by Delran. Looks like this one takes out the right lane. So if you're heading out through this area, keep an eye out for first responders at this scene. The Schuylkill Expressway was reporting a westbound crash by Gulf Mills. That has since cleared. Travel times at 15 minutes heading out towards 476. Deja, over to you.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to update you on that severe thunderstorm warning that is until 5:30 in the morning. We have this line of thunderstorms you can see from Trenton down into Philadelphia, a well-traveled area with heavy, heavy rain and a lot of lightning, tough for drivers. But it's this area from Camden through Center City all the way down into Paulsboro, Route 44, we're talking Broad Street all the way through Cherry Hill, impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning. And that, like I was saying, now expands through Gloucester, Glassboro, and into Winslow over Route 30 till 5:30 in the morning. It has the potential for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour within that severe thunderstorm warning. And they now have just pulled it away from Media and away from Delaware County as it continues to race towards the east at about 55 miles per hour. Here's who's next up as it pushes towards the east. I would would say Washington Township at 5:16. Let's be ready for a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder to wake you up. And then Berlin at 5:18, Waterford at 5:24, and at 5:26, this could be nearing Bates Mill, but again, this is just an estimated time. And then around 5:30, if this starts to lose a bit of power, I would say the National Weather Service will then expire this severe thunderstorm warning. We'll be tracking it all morning long. I'll send it back to you.
Now let's check in with meteorologist Monica Cryan for some active weather we have here in our area.
Absolutely. But this has been one severe thunderstorm warning. They have seen tornadoes, severe thunderstorm warnings. They've seen flooding out through the south and the Midwest. So this is just, one round. And what we have to update you on for this severe thunderstorm warning in Philadelphia, Gloucester, Camden, this is the severe thunderstorm warning that will come to an end around 5:30. But we've now expanded it, and the National Weather Service has issued another severe thunderstorm warning, this one for Burlington County, Atlantic, and it's also for Camden County, Ocean County, and that's now been issued for those locations till about 6:15 in the morning. Same kind of severe thunderstorm. Winds at about 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail, and heavy downpours, a lot of lightning. Look at this feedback. Earlier, one cell moved over Belmar, and it had an even deeper feedback, and I was quite concerned about that cell. Now it looks like it has weakened just a bit, but this, man, has a really deep feedback indicating very high precipitation rates. Look at that. More than 1.25 inches an hour. Now, it's not going to rain for a full hour, but that will really flood some of those roadways very, very quickly. And some of those roadways impacted, we're talking the Jersey Turnpike. We're looking at Route 30, some of these, and then surrounding smaller roadways as well that could also flood very quickly. We're also talking ponding on some of those side roadways and shoulders. This is from this cold front that has been really wreaking havoc through parts of the Midwest and through the central U.S. And today is another day that's going to be really tough for the Ark-La-Tex area. They're under a moderate risk from the Storm Prediction Center today for another round of severe weather. That's a 4 out of 5. So we're seeing severe thunderstorms this morning, and we don't even have a risk from the Storm Prediction Center. They do have a risk, and it's going to be really bad later today. Let's take a look right here from your Futurecast. Thinking there's going to be some thunderstorms possibly through about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then this all moves out, and I think we quiet things down through the afternoon and evening, and then we've got maybe a few isolated showers as we head into our early Saturday morning, and we look towards our Saturday afternoon, a lot of cloud cover, another round Saturday evening. This could be some thunderstorms, especially through the Lehigh Valley area. Sunday morning, what we're looking at is a round of showers. This will be light, but it'll be moving through, kind of dampening our Sunday morning, but that's what we can expect over the next couple of days is a very damp weekend setup. Temperatures today in the upper 60s, not necessarily what we had yesterday into the 70s, but let me tell you, you step outdoors right now and it feels very mild out there. Cooler on our Saturday, and then by Sunday we're in the upper 60s, rainy at times, especially in the morning, and another morning rain on Monday, but drier by Tuesday. Let me get it to Jenna. She's got a check of those roadways. You can see that lightning in the distance.
Exactly, Monica. So traffic cameras really impressive as this severe thunderstorm is rolling through. Live look right now, 95 passing out by these stadiums here in Philadelphia. Southbound direction that's heading for Delaware County. Right now, travel times, not seeing any major impacts or delays heading towards Delco. If you're heading into Philadelphia, that's about 12 minutes northbound. Airport, of course, is going to be impacted by some of this weather. Right now, we've got 1 cancellation and 8 delays, but I'm keeping a close eye on these numbers, as I think they're going to continue to increase here throughout the morning. 95 heading out through the work zone. Yes, roadways are soaked by Cottman Avenue and by Bridge Street. It's about 15 minutes each direction right now as you're heading out between the Vine and Woodhaven Road. And as Monica mentioned, New Jersey Turnpike 295, some of these roadways that are seeing this heavy rain right now. Remember, there's a crash out there on 295 southbound. That's blocking a right lane right after Rancocas Woods as you're heading towards Delran for exit 43. For that 5-mile stretch, we've got about a 12-minute commute heading down towards Route 38. If you can wait this out, give yourself a little bit extra time before you hit the roadways, that's going to be best. Deja, over to you.
It is 5:30 on your Friday. Made it to the end of the week. Woo. Kelsey Fabian, thanks for joining us.
And I'm Deja Jones. Yeah, maybe you're up a little earlier than usual. Regardless, we're happy to have you, but we got to talk about the weather because that's probably what got you up before your alarm this morning. We're checking in with meteorologist Monica Cryan for that. Hey, Monica.
That or the kids jumping into bed, terrified of all of the thunder and lightning. As it rolled through Philadelphia, it lit up those skies. Our sky cams looked like it was daytime at times with all of that lightning. I wanted to show you right now where we're looking at some of those thunderstorms as they're racing through. So it's this thunderstorm here that brought that severe weather through Philadelphia. I'm also concerned with this thunderstorm now pushing into Newcastle County into Delaware. It is not warned as of right now, so not a lot of focus on it, but it's right now pushing through over Route 40 into Newcastle County, over 95 into near Wilmington. But it's this severe thunderstorm warning that continues to bring gusty winds into parts of Burlington County, Atlantic County, and Camden County, Ocean County till 6:15 in the morning. It has hail, quarter of a size, and we're looking at wind speeds at 60 miles per hour. It's really raining heavy buckets over 206 right now through parts of Burlington County. And like I was saying, it could be nearing Country Lake Estates at 537, Buckingham at before 545 if it continues to move at this speeds. And the precipitation rate, okay, this just updated, but earlier when I got the center or the core of this cell, it was raining more than 2 inches an hour. Now, it's not going to be raining like that for an hour, but when you look at precipitation rates of more than 1 inch an hour, you know that it can flood those roadways very, very quickly. So that's another big concern. Not just wind, not just lightning, but it's also flooding concerns over some of those roadways like Route 30, and now I would say 206, which is what we were just talking about near Medford, Browns Mill, and Waterford. Let me send it to Jenna. She's got a check of those roadways, and yes, I would say ponding on the sides.
For sure, Monica. So let's head to 95. You mentioned Wilmington in Delaware. So quickly, I pulled up one of those traffic cameras to give you an idea of what it's looking like through this area, and visibility very tough right now as it is just pouring down on 95. Again, roadways are soaked. There's that lightning. So yes, if you do not have to be on the roadways, you can sort of delay heading out the door. I think that's going to be best right now. You can see not a whole lot of traffic on 95, which I'm happy about, but lightning is just lighting up these traffic cameras. Now, 495 in Delaware has issued some speed restrictions. So if you are heading out for 495, speeds there are down to around 50 miles an hour, which is what they typically do when we're seeing some of this weather. Regardless of whether a speed restriction has been issued or not, it's going to be a good idea to really take your time and slow it down as you're heading out the door. Here's a live view of the Ben Franklin Bridge. Traffic here westbound into Philadelphia, seeing a slower commute, of course, with those soaked roadways. Remember, in Burlington County, we've got that crash on 295 by Delran. That takes out a right lane, causing delays with travel times. I'll send it back to you.
Let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Monica Cryan. Real active out there. Hey, Monica.
Absolutely. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. This one, I'm focusing in on Burlington County as it pushes into Ocean County, hopefully soon enough, off into the Atlantic soon enough. But they issued it till about 6:15 in the morning because there are gusts within this thunderstorm at about 60 miles per hour. That can really down trees and power lines. I also wanted to bring your attention to this thunderstorm rolling through Wilmington and Newcastle County in Delaware. It is not warned by the National Weather Service, but I'm looking at some of this feedback, and man, we are talking heavy, heavy downpours and maybe even some gusty winds within it. So while it's not warned, I still wanted to really keep you up to date because once again, it's impacting the Jersey Turnpike with heavy downpours, Route 130, also Route 9, 495, some of those major roadways where people are driving on, and Jenna was saying she was looking at some of those roadways and people were pulling off to the side. So here's who's impacted next. Swedesboro at 5:49 and Pilesgrove at 5:52. Some of you within those towns, within some of those locations, may want to stay off the roads while this storm passes, because it's passing very quickly, and then you can head back out on the roadways, because Jenna was saying that, yeah, people are passing, pulling off on the side of the roads. It's hard to see because of how heavy this rain is. I'll send it back to you.
We got to check in with meteorologist Monica Cryan. We've got some active weather that you need to know about.
All right, guys, it just continues to develop. As I was just leaving you the last forecast saying, hey, I think we really need to track. Yes, we have this severe thunderstorm that's rolling through Burlington County, but soon enough it's going to be off into the Atlantic, and it pretty much looks like it's weakening. Yes, still a heavy downpour in Burlington County, but it's this system that I really want to focus on, because it looks like it could be the next named severe thunderstorm warning, and here we have it. I'll pull this back. And now the National Weather Service has now just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell that moved through Wilmington and moved through Newcastle County in Delaware. It's now crossed over the bay and into Salem County. So that's who now has this severe thunderstorm warning. It goes for Cumberland County, Gloucester, Salem County, and now includes Atlantic County. They're expecting this to really last and continue to stay strengthened all the way through most of South Jersey. So this has been extended all the way through 6:45 in the morning. Same kind of severe thunderstorm. Winds at 60 miles per hour. There's the potential for quarter-size hail within this next severe thunderstorm warning. And we've been looking at it, heavy downpours, precipitation rates of more than an inch, maybe even 2 inches an hour. Hopefully it doesn't rain for a whole hour. These systems are moving through, these cells are moving through very quickly. It's all associated with this very powerful cold front. You think it's bad here, you look out west and down through the Arklatex area, they are bracing for another severe outbreak for the day today. They're under a moderate risk today. Later in the afternoon, evening, they're expecting a severe weather outbreak. A moderate is a 4 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. That's almost as high as it gets. Futurecast is doing a good job of saying that within the next hour or so we'll be holding on to that severe potential, but then it starts to diminish right around 7:30, 8:30 in the morning, and then later in the morning through the afternoon this all quiets down. We look towards our Friday into the afternoon, evening, maybe an isolated shower or two, continuing into our Saturday morning. So yes, we're looking at a little bit of wet weather scattered throughout the weekend, maybe even a thunderstorm, I would say Saturday evening, and early Sunday morning there's a rain chance, but most of that looks like it'll be a shower, and so we are dealing with some wet weather. I just wanted to leave you with this. It is very mild out there. My guess is that's what's helping to fuel some of these thunderstorm chances later today. Your highs in the upper 60s. Let's get it to Jenna. She's got a check of how this is impacting those roads.
And it's impacting the roadways quickly, Monica. Lots of issues now coming into the traffic center in Delaware County. The Blue Route reports of a downed tree on 476 southbound here just before Baltimore Pike. That is taking out a right lane. So some major delays southbound here as you're heading towards Media Swarthmore. And then a lot of folks are just pulling off to the side of the roadway. I know the rain really heavy at times, so that visibility is not great. So they're putting the hazards on. They're getting off to the shoulder. So that's exactly why you want to delay heading out the door if you can. Looks like we've got another incident up ahead after that down tree southbound here after Media Swarthmore. Police at this scene taking out a right lane. So get ready for stop and go traffic as you're heading through that area. Delaware, parts of 95 absolutely soaked right now. Seeing that by Route 452 and by 202. Speed restrictions on 495. There's a number of issues in South Jersey on 295. I'll detail those coming up. Kelsey, over to you.
Happy Friday to you. It is April 4th of 2025. I'm Deja Jones.
And I'm Kelsey Fabian, but we do want to get right to meteorologist Monica Cryan, because she's been talking about some thunderstorms that we've had throughout the morning, and she's been tracking them for us. So Monica, where are we at now with that?
Yes, the first thunderstorm that rolled through, and it rolled through Philadelphia, lit up our skies. That now is pushing off into the Atlantic. You can see it just holding on onto the Garden State Parkway as it pushes off into Ocean County, but it's the second one that's following kind of closely behind it, and it's rolling right now through Gloucester and Camden counties, and I'll be tracking that in just a bit. But I wanted to talk about this because this is now going to be set to expire in the next 15 minutes. So we've got that one moving through Burlington and Ocean County set to expire at 6:15. So let's really focus in on this severe thunderstorm warning that originated in Newcastle County in Delaware, but it is now impacting areas like Gloucester, Salem, Cumberland County, and into Atlantic County. It has wind speeds at 60 miles per hour. Jenna is tracking down trees, so we can see how strong these storms are, that they can really uproot some trees, and they also have the potential for some hail, a quarter of a size. I wanted to show you where there are heaviest downpours: Washington Township, Glassboro, Clayton. Look at these deep feedbacks indicating the flooding rains on those roadways. We're talking over Route 77, 55, 47. This is heading your way. Franklinville, Upper Pittsgrove, and I'll track this for you as it's moving 55 miles per hour. Big Oak, this is within the next 5 minutes, and then Newfield at 6:09, 6:11 in Fordville. Those are just estimated times, but we're looking at this rolling over Route 40 and 322. Let me send it to Jenna. She's got a check of those roadways, and it's already really impacted areas like 476.
Absolutely, and that's where the down tree is, Monica.
Okay.
So as you mentioned, we've got down trees. Now we've got flooding in the mix. Just a really messy Friday morning commute. So let's give you a look outside. 476 southbound before Baltimore Pike. Reports of that down tree takes out a right lane. Now as you continue towards McDade Boulevard, just before exit 1 there on 476, it is flooding that is blocking most of the roadway. Looks like right now that far shoulder even is just able to get by. So expect to see significant delays as you're heading out the door. That travel time right now at about 20 minutes from the Media Bypass down towards 95. Normally at this hour, that's less than 10 minutes. In South Jersey, of course, I've been following a lot of problems on 295 as the severe thunderstorms rolled through this spot. So southbound at Route 47 in Westville, a right lane and the exit ramp is closed here for a crash, dropping our speeds to around 12 miles an hour. Also reports of some flooding on Route 130 around the Brooklawn Circle, so that is closed right now. 295 southbound after Route 73 also reporting a crash. Deja, over to you.
All right, let's check in with Monica to see how those storms are going. Hey, Monica.
Okay, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning now through Gloucester and rolling into Atlantic County. I would be ready for this, and it has very strong winds is my guess. They're estimating it up to 60 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised if it's higher than that, and I'll tell you why in just a bit. But it goes through counties Atlantic, Camden, Cumberland, Gloucester County till about 6:45 in the morning. There's also the potential for hail, quarter-sized hail. But the reason I'm guessing that this has such gusty winds, look at this bowing effect. When we see cells start to bow out like this, those winds are racing away and it's pulling that cell like this. And that's why my guess is those winds, and this is a severe thunderstorm warned system. So where those winds are really impacting those roadways, 322, and we're talking the AC Expressway. Look at that. The AC Expressway right there with some of those winds, 422 as well. Your precip rate, more than 1.25 inches an hour. Now, it's not going to rain an hour, but I do expect it to rain for, a good portion, maybe 15 or 20 minutes or so at a very heavy downpour. Right now, it's over Williamstown, Andrews. This is heading your way. Victory Lake, Winslow, and Cora. We need to be ready for not just that heavy downpour, but again, those racing winds ahead of that heavy rain. So this is going to be quite a problem. We're looking at this severe thunderstorm warning going to about 6:45 in the morning from the National Weather Service. We'll be continuing to update you. My guess is the severe weather will last until about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then things will start to quiet down. Let me get it to Jenna. She's got a check of This morning is off to a very active start. Heavy rain, high winds, and some severe thunderstorms rolling through the Delaware Valley. We have 2 active thunderstorms right now. One rolling off into the Atlantic won't be much more of a problem for us, but it's this severe thunderstorm that we're concentrating on right now, pushing through Gloucester, Camden County, and into Atlantic County. That is still a severe thunderstorm warned system and cell, causing some big issues, not only because we're looking at high winds, but very, very heavy downpours, flooding some of those roadways. And I wanted to bring your attention right now to where we're seeing some of your heaviest downpours. Look at some of that feedback where we're looking at that heavy rainfall. That's right over Chew Road. And so this has continued to move over Chew Road. And I think that's where we're going to be seeing some ponding, if not flooding on those roadways. Fleming Pike as well near Ancora. Route 30, 143, and this is heading towards 206. Now, this would be the second round of heavy rain for 206. I was on earlier, about a half hour to 45 minutes ago, saying 206 was hit earlier with heavy downpours from the first line of thunderstorms, and now we have another round of heavy rain. So when we see back-to-back heavy rainfall, you know that that's going to cause additional flooding and big concerns on those roadways. So, you just want to stay off those roadways as much as you can. Maybe wait an hour or so in South Jersey and parts of Atlantic County on 206 if you know you have to travel. We've got this cold front. This is a very powerful cold front that will be bringing even worse weather. You think we have it bad here? Worse weather back through the Arc-La-Tex area. They're under a moderate risk today for not only flooding, but also tornadoes. They're expecting a tornado outbreak later in the day today. That's a 4 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. We have possible severe weather for the next hour or so till about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I think things begin to quiet down. Sure, we could see some showers, but as for that severe weather, I think things begin to quiet down. That instability begins to lessen. And then the rest of our afternoon, evening, we just have partly cloudy skies. Now, the rest of our weekend, several rounds of showers. I think Saturday morning we're waking up to some showers. And then by Saturday evening, maybe even some thunderstorms around 11 to midnight, and then we wake up Sunday morning and here comes another round of showers, but thankfully this will just be light as it rolls through Sunday morning. So again, on and off rain chances through the weekend. Make sure we have the umbrella and some type of rain gear just to deal with it. Rainy Sunday morning, temperatures into the upper 60s, and then we have some rain Monday morning as well, and cooler temperatures behind that through Tuesday. Let me get it to Jenna. She's got to check at those roadways. Those roads are going to be tough to navigate.
Right, Monica. So even as the severe component of some of this weather moves through, the residual left behind problems with the flooding and the ponding and wet roadways visibility, that's still going to be with us for the rest of the morning commute. So live look right now, 42. Traffic northbound is building, heading towards the Walt Whitman and the Ben Franklin bridges. If you're on the Philly side, 95 has this southbound crash after the Walt Whitman bridge. That is off to the right shoulder. So traffic is able to get by this one, but it's expanding a pretty good length of that shoulder. So please be careful as they're actively cleaning up this crash. They may need to move into one of those travel lanes. 476 southbound still reports a down tree at Baltimore Pike. So before that point, watching stop traffic right now. The flooding up ahead just before McDade Boulevard. Looks like that flooding's cleared. Police were blocking most of the roadway for a bit in that area, but I'm no longer seeing those police lights. Right now, it's about 30 minutes, though, from Route 1, the Media Bypass, down to 95. Deja, over to you.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Deja Jones.
And I'm Kelsey Fabian, and that festival is happening rain or shine. So we're going to check with meteorologist Monica Cryan to see not only what the forecast is today, but what's going on for the weekend.
Exactly. Hey, Monica.
Thanks.
Talk about shine. We were watching that skyline light up and shine with all of that lightning and all of that rain. So we had a thunderstorm roll through. Several thunderstorms really scared a lot of people. Right now, when we take a live look at the Commodore Barry Bridge, the sun's starting to come up, but it just shows how dreary of a start to the morning it is. When we talk about those thunderstorms currently rolling through the Delaware Valley, we have this one The original one that rolled through Philadelphia and scared a good portion of Philadelphia and Delaware County, that since has pushed off into the Atlantic. This was the second thunderstorm that moved through South Jersey. Now there's no warning with it. It's now pushing off into the Atlantic. As you can see, it really has weakened within the last few scans. It was much stronger about an hour ago, and now within the last few scans, it's really weakened. So this is the next severe thunderstorm. It has not been warned by the National Weather Service, but it's still something that I'm keeping a very close eye on, because look at some of these cells now moving into Salem County, crossing over from Newcastle County, moving over Route 13 from Middletown over the bay into Cumberland and Salem County. I'll time this out for you. This is moving at about 55 miles per hour. And again, some of these locations that I've been talking about from the last few times that they've gotten hit are now in the path of this next thunderstorm. Again, Piles Grove, I recognize that, 644. You could be getting hit with this next thunderstorm. And then Lower Alloway Creek, we're talking 641. That's just an estimated time, but you want to be ready for a lot of lightning, heavy downpours, and gusty winds. Let me get it to Jenna with a check of those roadways. These roadways can't catch a break.
Monica, flooding still popping up really everywhere. So 95, let's give you a look outside. New reports of some flooding heading southbound before Philadelphia International Airport. That is blocking one of the travel lanes. So expect to see some delays coming down 95 southbound right now because of that. Also on 95 southbound after the Walt Whitman Bridge crash here off to that right shoulder. So looks like police and PennDOT, the only two vehicles left behind. I'm thinking within the next couple of minutes here, they will be clearing. Luckily, because it is off to the shoulder, there's no significant delays on that stretch of 95 southbound. Blue Route southbound, we've got a down tree up ahead before Baltimore Pike that's taking out one of those travel lanes. Traffic is jammed back to around Route 1, the Media bypass. Also 476 southbound, earlier flooding here by Media Swarthmore. That has since cleared. That travel time as you're coming down the southbound side, around a 20-minute delay right now at 26 minutes from the Media bypass to 95. And if you're in Montgomery County on 476, it's another crash out there after Ridge Pike. Both shoulders are blocked. I'll send it back to you.
All right, a bit of an update. I know these thunderstorms were pretty scary as they rolled through. A lot of lightning and thunder, gusty winds as these cells continued to bow out. And we're actually watching this one that is now pushing through Delaware and into South Jersey continue to bow out. My guess is it has some gusty winds, but there are no, as of right now, severe thunderstorm warnings issued from the National Weather Service within the Delaware Valley. So that is good news. We're starting to watch things quiet down. Soon enough, I think we'll only have showers. Now, this is a thunderstorm, like I was saying, that continues to bow out. I think there will be some gustier winds within it, but not at severe level criteria. You need about 60-mile-per-hour winds within those thunderstorms to get to that severe level criteria. But here is what I believe to be the biggest threat within these thunderstorms right now, and that is flooding rain. So we have precipitation rates at over an inch, nearly an inch and a half an hour. And yes, we're not seeing this rain an hour, but when it's over an inch an hour, that can really, within 15 minutes, flood some of those roadways. So let's take a look at those roads that are impacted right now. Near Stowe Creek and Mickles Mill, Route 49 and Route 77. So if you have roadways, if you're traveling on Route 49 or 77 or you need to, I would stay off those roadways within the next hour or so, because we're probably looking at some ponding, if not flooding on those roadways or any roadway near Route 49 and 77 within those towns. Otherwise, it's raining early this morning, especially behind some of those severe thunderstorms. Temperatures, however, very mild. You step out the door and you'll notice that temperatures feel very mild out there. It'll feel mild in the morning, but now that this front's passing through behind it, we might start to feel a little bit cooler through the rest of the morning. And then we have some severe weather expected down south. The Ark-La-Tex area is expecting a severe weather outbreak through the afternoon and evening. Unfortunately, they could see some tornadoes. But like I was saying, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning within the next hour or so, these thunderstorms start to diminish and we'll just see some showers. And actually later in the afternoon, we could see peaks of sunshine as things start to quiet down. Unfortunately, though, for our Saturday, some showers in the morning and even some showers into the afternoon. They'll be light and isolated. And then we could see a thunderstorm continue, especially through the Lehigh Valley area, Saturday evening through the overnight. Another round of showers Sunday in the early morning hours, moving out by the afternoon. But it's on and off rain chances as we head into the weekend, and maybe a shower Monday morning, cooler by Tuesday. Let's get it to Jenna. She's got a check of those roadways. Hey, Jenna.
Lots of problems out there. Schuylkill Expressway starting here right now. Crash off to the right shoulder before City Avenue. Now, before this was moved to that shoulder, it was causing some big problems. So still some westbound delays after Montgomery Drive as you're leaving Philadelphia, maybe heading into Montgomery County or towards Conshohocken, King of Prussia. That's about 20 minutes, over a half hour eastbound coming into the city right now. Elsewhere, 95 has seen a number of problems, of course, with the weather out there. So this here is flooding on 95 southbound just before Philadelphia International Airport. So that's taking out the left side of the roadway with some slow delays getting by this. No major impacts for the travel time, but if you are heading to the airport, this could tie you up a bit. I did just check in at Philly International, and with some of that severe weather that moved through, about 15 delays right now. So that number has been increasing over the last hour or so. 95 southbound still working to clear a crash off to the shoulder after the Walt Whitman Bridge because it is off to the shoulder. No major delays in that travel time. Should be good to go as you're past that. But just know roadways are absolutely soaked. So regardless of where you're heading, need some extra time. 476 southbound, there's a down tree on the Blue Route just before Baltimore Pike. Right now heading to 95. That's about a half hour from the Media Bypass. Deja, over to you.
Live from Philadelphia, this is PHL 17 Morning News at 7.
Right now on PHL17, we are taking a live look at a stormy start to the weekend. Meteorologist Monica Cryan is tracking the thunderstorms that have been sweeping the Delaware Valley. Yeah, Monica's morning is off to a busy start.
Oh my goodness, a busy start and a loud start too. We were hearing that rain earlier above the studio and the thunder as well. So maybe you did too. Maybe that's why you're up joining us. Regardless, we appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, and it's Friday, so we're not going to let it ruin our morning.
No,
let's check in with Monica to see what she's got for us now. Hey, Monica.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest issues is it wasn't just one, it was 2 rounds or 3 rounds for some of strong, even severe thunderstorms. Now what we're looking at is the first 2 have pushed off into the Atlantic, but I am still watching this thunderstorm. It is not a severe warned storm, but it is still very, very strong. You can see it hitting Vineland and Millville and Cedarville with very, very heavy downpours, probably a lot of thunder and lightning. My guess is it doesn't have a lot of wind with it. Earlier, those thunderstorms had gusty winds more than 60 miles per hour, and they were bowing out. Those storms had kind of that bowing effect. This is more of a straight thunderstorm, so it may not have as fast of winds, but it still certainly has the potential for some flooding. So watch out for that over 322, Route 30, as this continues to push its way eastward, impacting areas like Commercial, Gigantic City, Weymouth around 712. I would say that would impact Weymouth around 712, Commercial around 708 if it is moving at about 55 miles per hour, which is what the thunderstorms before it were moving at. That was the speeds. They are racing. Once this pushes off into the Atlantic, and my guess is within the next half hour or so, it will be off into the Atlantic. We just have showers behind it and things will start to quiet down. Let me get it to Jenna. She's got to check those roadways. And when I say quiet down, still showers. Still rain on those roadways, soaking
I think
those
what
roadways.
happened early this morning is going to cause big problems throughout the rest of the morning commute for me, Monica. So even though that severe weather is on its way out, what it's left behind still going to be a problem for us with this drive. Roosevelt Boulevard showing some of the conditions out there. Roadways absolutely soaked. 295 still watching a southbound crash here from Rancocas Road to Route 38 that's causing delays here. That's in 2 of the right lanes, so passing through Delran. It's about 31 minutes for that 5-mile stretch, speeds in the single digits. Now also on 295, Southbound after Route 73, there's a crash here off to the shoulder by Route 47. The right lane and exit ramp is closed because of a crash and a downed tree. So with the winds, downed trees with the morning commute as well. Looks like there's some flooding reported right around Route 130 for the Brooklawn Circle. So FYI, that is shut down right now in Camden County. 476 southbound. This is another downed tree just before Baltimore Pike. That's taking out the right lane. Stop traffic back to Westchester Pike. Deja, over to you.
All right, well, it's 7:18 this morning, and they aren't the only ones getting some intense weather. We're not as intense as that, but, you know, we still got some active weather out there.
Absolutely, and thankfully, our biggest threat with these thunderstorms that we're seeing right now is going to be some flooding. Earlier this morning, it was gusty winds down to a few trees as they passed through.
Telling Deja, when you stepped out the door this morning, it was so mild and almost muggy that you could feel it was going to storm.
Yeah, right. Storm was a brewing.
And that's what why I think these storms got so out of control. The muggy air just fueled those thunderstorms. They popped up and bam.
Yeah.
They were out of control. So we had, I would say, 4 severe thunderstorms roll through. Now, we don't have any warn systems. We don't have any warn cells, but we do have one that I am a bit concerned about, but thankfully it's racing through, and I'll touch on that in just a bit. But I wanted to show you, thankfully, we are starting to quiet it down now that temperatures are starting to drop off just a bit. From Gloucester, Camden, back through Philadelphia, all the way through Bucks and Montgomery County, it's a widespread rain that could be causing some issues on all of these roadways that have already seen some flooding that could be causing additional flooding concerns. But as for severe weather, and we're talking gusty winds and hail, I don't think we're seeing much more of an issue with that. I'm following this last bit of a thunderstorm now pushing through Atlantic County and into Cape May County. This is going to be impacting Galloway, Estelle Manor, Corbin City, and then I'm going to move it a little bit further southward where this cell is now Halliburton, Hoffman's Mill. Yes, you can see that deeper color, and again, that's going to be some flooding rain over 495. So if you can avoid 495 and some of those surrounding roadways within the next hour or so because of that flooding, I would do so. And then I wanted to show you, it's about 14 miles away from Strathmere. So we've got maybe, I would say, another 15 minutes before this starts to push off into the Atlantic. 15 to 20 minutes before this moves through the Jersey Shore, and then it's out of here, and then we'll start to just see some showers. Again, that's still going to cause some issues. We're not done with those problems just yet, but as for that severe kind of gusty winds and thunder and lightning, another 20 to 25 minutes or so. Cold front, this is what is so strong and rolling through our area, but it really will be causing a lot more problems later this afternoon through the Arklatex area. And a quick look at your futurecast within the next, hour or so. Some showers still possible, 95 and further south and east. And then I just think they become so isolated that around lunchtime we have a lot of cloud cover, but we start to see that rain move out, and then we'll see some peaks of sunshine later in the day. Again, kind of on and off shower chances through about Saturday morning. This is what we're waking up to Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon back to kind of that lull in the rain.